Okay, so I'm 30 years old,
Yes.
single,
Yes.
Christian,
Yes.
and in the week, during the day, I am a history teacher.
Wow.
Yes, so I've been teaching for 6 years now, be my 7th year in September.
Wow, wow, wow. So what led you to write this book? Because the reason I asked that is the single badge is not one that is worn with much honor. A lot of people kind of shy away from, people knowing that they're single. But you've written this book, therefore the whole wide world knows that this babe is single. What led you to write the book?
I was having a conversation with one of my married friends, I think last February, and she was just saying stuff about what they didn't tell her about being married and these kind of nuances that she didn't quite know about. And then that led on to talking about me, and I was like, girl, there is so much about being single.
Yeah.
We've been friends for a long time, so our paths have kind of separated.
Yeah.
And I was like, getting older and being single, there's a lot of things. And shortly afterwards, that was it. Started writing.
I'm going to read an excerpt from the book. There's one excerpt which is all over the internet, but I'm going to read a different excerpt.
Okay.
And this is one of my favorite excerpts. It is taken from chapter 5.
Okay.
Let's say you're shopping, just casually browsing, walking around pretty aimlessly, hoping but not too fussed if something should catch your eye. And then you see it. The most perfect pair of shoes in your size. Complete pair just by itself. At this point, the price really doesn't matter. Because these shoes are everything you didn't know you'd been looking for. Classic 6-inch heel, black. The front of the pointed stilettos have these wonderful sparkly stones. When they catch the light, they sparkle like the moon over the sea. You slide them on, already knowing within your spirit they will fit. And lo and behold, they do. And you're perfectly able to afford them as well. That's definitely a plus. So what do? Do you leave them on the side and think, any girl will be lucky to have them? Or do you grab the pair and hold on to them for dear life? These babies aren't leaving your sight until you're at the cash till, paying for your precious babies. You leave the store knowing your life will never be the same again. You know the future is going to thank you immensely because you made that purchase. And you said that this is how you think it goes with most men. I really like that because I think that is true. Can you elaborate on that?
So I think when it comes to guys, when they know what they want, there's kind of no deliberating. There's no that stretch of let's just see how it goes. Oh, I'm not too sure. Let's see what the Lord says. There's an almost urgency because they realize that, oh my goodness, this girl is everything and I need to prepare. I need to get myself ready. And obviously I understand that there's some hesitation, but there is a knowing. We had a panel last week and the married men said there was something in their knower, in their spirit that just said, this one, I can't let her get away. So I feel like if there's that kind of deliberation and hesitation on just having a serious intention about you, I think that's the point where we as women may need to raise some alarm bells.
That's really interesting. In case you just tuned in, we are speaking with a brand new author, Tumi Olaoshin, and we're speaking about her book, What They Don't Tell You About Being Single. And Tumi believes, and I actually do agree, when a guy knows, he knows. So in other words, if a guy is stringing you along, very indecisive, and we're not talking about waiting on God, like sincerely waiting on to hear from God, but just really indecisive, spending all their time with you, what would you say to the girl?
I would tell her,
ouch,
take a step back. You're not going to lose anything by taking that step back. You're not going to lose anything by just saying, I just need a break, and just see what he does with that. Because the danger is that we stay there often in hope. I myself, I can't remember a time where I've stayed there and I've switched my feelings off. I switched my emotions off. And the longer you stay in that place, the more hope you're investing, the more emotion you're investing. And it's a gamble. And if he doesn't say the words that you want to hear, you're the one who is hurt. So if that is the case, and there's no harm in taking a step back, there's no harm in getting yourself busy with the things that you need to be doing right now and kind of putting him on the back burner. Because like said, if he does want you, he's going to run up and make sure that he is center of attention. and making sure that he has your attention.
Yeah.
So yeah.
You spoke about hope, and in one of the chapters, chapter 6 of your book, the chapter title is "What is versus What I Think It Is," and you said that because for a lot of your Christian faith, you've been nurtured to think positively. Let me get that word right, and speak positively regarding the ups and downs of life. Sometimes you fail to call things out and see them for what they truly are.
Yeah.
There's that thin line between hope and, I guess, as you rightly said, speaking forth the things that are not as though they are, and really just standing on the word of God and believing and confessing that, something is yours in the fullness of time. God is going to bring that to pass, versus just being real with yourself.
Yes.
How can we know the difference? Obviously, you're not inferring that you know all the answers, but how do you think you can tell the difference?
I think when it comes to that, it is about knowing yourself a little bit and knowing the word of God.
Yes.
So there is no danger in praying, and I pray for marriage regularly, and I pray that I want my bone of the bone and flesh of my flesh and all of that stuff.
Yeah.
But then in this situation, I think there's also an honesty. So it's like, God, I really would like this to work out.
Yeah.
But if there is something that is hindering that, if this isn't for me, then let me see it.
Yeah.
We shouldn't let our prayers and our desires cloud our reality. So he doesn't call you, you're making all the effort and you're still declaring that he's going to be the one for you. I don't know.
To me, you just burst someone's bubble right there. Burst someone's bubble right there.
Sorry, but not sorry. We have to be honest with each other. Yeah. And I think in the past, I've definitely been that one, just kind of like hoping and praying, God's going to use me to do the transformation. And clearly it hasn't worked because I'm still single. Yeah. So it's easier. Like, it's so much better if we're guarded in the word and we're praying, but also we can see things as they are. Yeah. Because then we can actually then pray for things as we need to be praying for them. So then if there isn't actually, God, I really want to be with him, but this is the situation, you can pray for that situation as opposed to glossing over it like it's not even happening. Yeah.
Early on in today's show, I played a song by Jonathan McReynolds called Cycles.
Yes.
And there's one line in the song that says, "The devil learns from our mistakes, even if we don't." And I think that this line applies to a lot of singles. It's as though we keep going around the same mountain over and over and over again. We're attracting the same kind of guys over and over again. Can you speak to that before we go to our news? Do you want to talk a little bit about that?
Yes, I think it's the case. We think that the situation is different, and when we really reflect on it, it's the same traits. It's the same type of. I think for me, mine was like the project guy. Yeah. Like I had to kind of work on him. Yeah. And if we don't take time to reflect, and in the book I give space for reflection. Yes. Because I really want every woman who reads it to take time and reflect and acknowledge if there are any patterns. Yeah. To pray about those patterns. That's for a removal of those patterns. Yeah. To us to change our mind about those patterns, because we'll just keep doing the same thing, hoping for a different result. And as we know, that's insanity.
Yes, it is. Well, you've heard it from her. That's Tumi Olaosun, brand new author of the book, What They Don't Tell You About Being Single. We're going to take a quick break. We're going to go to the news, and then we're going to take some commercials. And when we get back, we're going to be chatting a bit more with Tumi.
From the Sky News Centre at 9, a woman who lost 9 members of her family when a tourist duck boat sank in the US state of Missouri says the captain told passengers not to put life jackets on.
You weren't supposed to grab them unless you were in distress, which we were, but he told us we don't need them. It was, I don't know what to say. It's definitely life-changing.
Survivor Tia Coleman has spoken from her hospital bed. Her children, husband and uncle are among 17 who died in the tragedy on Thursday. Last night, mourners held a candlelit vigil close to the lake where it happened. A toddler has been accidentally shot dead by her 4-year-old cousin in Southern California. The 2-year-old's grandfather has been arrested after it happened at their family home near Los Angeles yesterday. Investigators say the boy got hold of the gun and fired it. This woman who lives nearby says she's shocked.
Firearms should be put up in a safe place, a gun case or anything, so it won't be easy access for the children, just as well as medication that people take daily.
2 Dutch men are due in court later, charged over what officials are describing as a significant seizure of cocaine. It was found on a yacht intercepted off the coast of southwest Cornwall on Thursday. NHS data shows nearly 2,000 primary school children were prescribed antidepressants in England last year. The figures obtained by the Times newspaper found more than 70,000 under 18s were given the medication, despite experts claiming the pills rarely work in children. Brownies will soon be able to earn badges for things like aviation, mindfulness and baking. Lots of traditional awards are being ditched in the biggest overhaul in girl guiding history. In sport, the third round of the Open Golf gets underway shortly. England's Justin Rose is among the players going out early at Carnoustie and looks for an improved performance after only just making the cut on 3 over par. That's the latest. I'm Victoria Lawrence.
On ABN Radio, engaging our community with discerning conversation.
Join me, Esther Alade, on The Discourse, where we will be redefining perspectives with authentic analysis.
Join The Discourse from 7 a.m. to 10 a.m. on ABN Radio.
This Friday and every Friday on ABN Radio, London's Afropolitan radio station.
Consider that life wasted. Consider the heart of the family ripped apart. Consider the potential never realized. Are these the things you consider when you carry a knife? It's not about street cred or respect. It's about staying alive. Drop that knife and save a life. Quentin Slowly, supporting all family and young people.
Pay angel. Pay angel. If you come my money, I know they joke around me, yeah.
Sending money has to be fast, safe and efficient.
So what are you?
Now you can send up to £5,400 to Ghana for only £1.
Only £1? Up to £5,400?
Yes, only £1, and your friends and family can collect with ease from a cash collection point, mobile money on all networks, or directly from their bank account.
This is so convenient.
Wait for the most convenient part. Download your Pay Angel app to your phones and tablets and get started, or visit payangel.com. Pay only £1 for money transfer to Ghana, no matter the amount, when you pay for your transaction with instant bank transfer.
Get paid when your family and friends send. Terms and conditions apply.
Visit payangel.com for details. PayAngel, truly an angel. Authorized and regulated by the Financial Conduct Authority. ABN TV Gospel Fest is back.
Hallelujah. Celebrate Jesus with me tonight. Hallelujah.
With award-winning Joe Met Bank Holiday Sunday, 26th August 2018 at Plush TBC Oasis House, 5 to 9 Peel Road, Croydon, CR03EX. Expect an awesome night of praise, worship and transformation. On the bill this year, all the way from Nigeria, the Welu Welu Master, Sammy Oposu.
This is the Welu Welu Master. Just as you call the beat. Watch this. So, I love to sing your praise.
UK-based Andrew Bello. The sensational Shekinah, and many more. Get your tickets now from abntv.co.uk and abnradiouk.com. Tickets are £20 standard and £35 VIP with reserved seating, goodie bag and VIP reception with Joe Metal. All tickets purchased will be entered into a prize draw. Gates open at 5 p.m. ABN TV Gospel Fest with Joe Metal. Don't be told. Be there. Brought to you by Real Money Transfer, World Ribbits, Miss E Divine and ABN Radio. Get your tickets now.
ABN Radio.
London!
London's Afropolitan radio station.
Take the wheel, it's fine. Take my life, wait, it's yours and not mine. Your plan, your will, your design. It's my heart's desire. Take control, take control. My body, my spirit, my mind and soul. I will be still so you can take control. Whenever you're ready, I will go. Take control, take control, take control. Yeah, my body, my spirit, my body, my spirit. I will be still so you can take control. Whenever you're ready, then I will go. Take control. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, yeah. Take control. Take control. Take the wheel, it's fine. Take my life, wait, it's yours. And
sign is my heart's desire. Yeah, take control. Take control.
My body, my spirit, my mind and soul.
I will be still so you can take control.
Whenever you're ready, I will go.
Take control. Take control. My body, my spirit, my mind and soul. I will be still so you can take control. Whenever you're ready, then I will go. Yahweh, take your place in my life. Yahweh, take your place in my life. Oh, take the center, take the center, center. Take the center, take the center, center. Take the center, take the center, center. Oh Lord, take control. Take control, take control. My body, my spirit, my mind and soul. I will be still so you can take control. Whenever you're ready, I will go.
8 minutes past the top of the hour. It is Gospel Connect AV and radio with me, Akosua Dwomoh-Fokuoh. And I did say that I'll be premiering a brand new track by the group Kaleo today. And that was the track, yet another summer anthem. And you know what? I have the guys in the studio to talk about the song. Good morning, guys.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Congrats on this brand new track. I saw the video yesterday and I was screaming behind my computer. I was like, what? honestly, tell me, this song is very different from your previous single.
Mm-hmm.
This is really urban.
Yeah.
Why did you steer away from praise and worship? Nothing wrong with it, just asking.
Yeah, because obviously we're young people, we have different expressions.
Yeah.
And one of the main things that we believe in Kaleo is that we're called not just for the church, but for the people outside the
Definitely.
church.
Yeah.
So we want something that people can relate to, you know, something that people can listen to and not, you know, be pre-judgmental about it.
Yeah.
You know, you can have a listen to it and just vibe to it, really.
Yeah.
And coincidentally, I know the song sounds very urban and everything, but this track was actually written 8 years ago.
8 years ago.
Oh, really?
Before Kaleo was even formed.
Oh, really?
So yeah, we just feel like this is the right time for it. It's summer.
Yeah. It is a summer anthem. When I watched the video, you know, with all the colors and you know all the smoke and in the fields and the sun, I was like, oh my gosh, these kids they did good. So tell me, what's next for Kaleo? Because this is your third single, isn't it?
Yes.
So what's next? Do we expect an EP, an album, a tour? Prophesy!
Hopefully very soon. We have an event coming up in September.
Okay.
By His grace. More information will come very soon. And an EP, hopefully.
Yeah.
We've been discussing an EP for a while now.
Yeah.
So we're looking to try and put a few tracks together.
Okay.
And just put an EP together.
Yeah.
Some of our old stuff and then a current and then a few new stuff as well. And then just put it together and release an EP.
Yeah.
Third one.
You know, Sharon, you said something earlier on about wanting to do music, you know, for the people outside of the four walls of the church.
Yeah.
And I've heard that a lot from a number of young artists. There seems to be that real desire and focus to really reach outside of the four walls of the church. Why do you think that all of a sudden it's become such a pressing desire in this generation?
I think it's the more you get to know about God, the more you have the heart of God.
Yes.
And Jesus didn't just come for, you know, he didn't come for the people that were all right. He came for the people that weren't all right.
Yeah.
So that's why, you know, as a church, really, that should be our focus, our objective, to reach out to people. Because it's like, if I know where to get free money, for instance. Yeah, and I had family members, I would tell them, oh, come and get free money. And that's the same way it is with salvation.
Yes.
And, you know, when it comes to music, there's really no divide. We could say this is gospel, but if you listen to it, there's all different types of sounds in there.
Yes.
So there's no reason why we cannot, you know, do different types of music and reach out to different kind of people, especially if that's what God is, impressed in our heart.
Yeah.
So
So would you say that as a group, that is your mandate?
Yes, that's what kaleo actually stands for us. So kaleo is a Greek variant of the word called out.
Okay.
So we're called to the nations, we're called to the people.
Okay.
Even beyond music, it's something that we try to do in our everyday lives. So it's really central to who we are as a group.
Yeah. So let's talk about the sound on this new song. You said it was written 8 years ago.
Yeah.
I dare say it's gone through some transformation
Definitely.
and metamorphosis over the
Definitely.
years. So how did you arrive at this particular sound? And your collaboration with the music producer as well. How did you get all that in place?
It came about for an instrumental that Sharon kind of, developed and everything. So we took it to the producer. I think it was sometime in June or May.
Yeah.
And then he just literally reproduced it into something that's so current right now. Jolla, White Block, amazing.
I've seen that name White Block around because I think he did Called Out's track. And I think he did Charles Dadda's new track as
New
well.
Man as well.
Yeah. Because I was wondering, who is this White Block person?
The musical wizard.
Literally.
That's
He literally
interesting.
sat down and was just like, all right, guys, give me a second. I'll do this. Do you like this? Do you like that?
Yeah.
It was awesome.
Yeah. So let's talk about your songwriting because you're a collective, quite a number of people.
Yeah.
Does everybody chip in to write? Is there just one writer? How do you?
We've never had that kind of problem when it comes to songwriting.
Nobody says that I want to be the writer.
No.
Because I'm the one who's gifted to write.
No.
Really?
Not at all. Songs just generally come and then we pitch it to everyone and everyone seems to love it at that point in time. So Sharon wrote Take Control. She even wrote When We Worship as well. So she's looking at me. But yeah, we have been just given songs and then we just run with it and we love it really. But sometimes we develop it. So she brings it and then we amend it slightly. We're like, okay, maybe we can replace this word with this word or we can take that line away. So yeah.
So where can you said you've got an event coming up in September, but other than that event, how and where can people see you? How can people contact you? People want to book you? Where can we get your music? You want to do all the PR and marketing stuff whilst you got this opportunity?
Yes.
Yeah, that's really true. So on Instagram, Kaleo Music. On Facebook, where there is Kaleo
Music.
Is it Kaleo Music?
Kaleo Music, sorry.
Okay, so YouTube, Kaleo Music, just look for us. Our website is coming out next week as well. That's going to be fresh. So you can find everything that's to do with us, book us, everything really. And if you really just want to speak to us, then that's fine.
Just send us a DM on Instagram. We'll definitely
Okay.
And we've got a few like festivals and
festivals
stuff
lined up as
Oh
well.
Wow.
We've been doing a festival. Charles has been ministering there as well.
I think I saw it on Instagram. There's a festival that you guys did.
Yeah.
So let's talk about this banging hot video. Honestly, I got the Trevor sent me the link to the video yesterday. So I clicked on it and I was not actually prepared for what I saw. The excellence. It's like this genre of, gospel artists, y'all are stepping up.
Thank you.
Tell me, the concept, who shot it, all that stuff. It's a really good video. If you're listening, you want to go to YouTube. Is it /Kaleo Music?
Yes.
And you want to watch that music, take my word for it. It's an incredible music. Probably one of the best UK gospel music videos in terms of quality and excellence that I've seen. It's really, really good. So tell me about the concept behind that music video. I think that MTV could easily play that music video, if I can be honest.
Wow.
Yeah, actually, it's that excellent. So tell me about the concept.
Charlie, you should really take this one.
So basically, originally we went through like so many different ideas. But we just really wanted it to just be fun and wanted our personalities to just show through.
And boy, did they show through.
We didn't want to come across, because I think in our previous kind of songs, we've always come across older than our age per se.
Understood.
So we just wanted to show that, we're young, we're fresh, you understand? So we literally just got together and we were literally just Kaleo. So there wasn't a concept per se. That's something we would do on a normal day. Literally. The person that shot a video, like I said to you yesterday, is a very, very good friend of ours. We've worked with him previously before. Not a Christian, but I think it's good sometimes to have that kind of input from someone that's not a Christian, because then he will appeal to the wider what's the word?
What audience?
Wider audience. Yeah, he will appeal to the wider audience. So that was literally it.
I'm going to play the track yet again. It's okay to play the same track twice in an hour. It's like, I'm going to play the track again. But before I do let you go, could you let us know where we can get this song? And you didn't give me the booking information, did you? Did you give me the email?
No.
Sorry.
Yes.
What happened?
Sorry.
Because I did ask that question.
Yeah, you did.
It just flew off my head. Yeah, go on.
Email kaleomusic@outlook.com.
Yep.
Sorry, what's the other question?
It's only 17 minutes past 9 o'clock.
And it's really early.
The other question was, where can people get your music?
iTunes, Spotify, Apple Music, Deezer, everywhere.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Literally.
So if you are listening, you do want to go out and you do want to support this amazing group, Kaleo Music. And as I said, I'm going to play that track again because it's such a fabulous track.
Take the wheel, it's fine. Take my life, wait, it's yours and not mine. Your plan, your will, your design is my heart's desire. Take control, take control. My body, my spirit, my mind and soul. I will be still so you can take control. Whenever you're ready, I will go. Take control. Take control. Take control. Yeah, my body, my spirit. My mind and soul. I will be still so you can take control. Whenever you're ready, then I will go. Take control. Yeah. Take control. Take the wheel, it's fine. Take my life, wait, it's yours and not mine. Your plan, your will, your design is my heart's desire. Yeah, take control. Take control. My body, my spirit, my mind and soul. I will be still so you can take control. Whenever you're ready, I will go. Take control. Take control. My body, my spirit, my mind and soul. I will be still so you can take control. Whenever you're ready, then I will go. Yahweh, take your place in my life. Yahweh, take your place in my life. Oh, take the setup, take the setup, setup. Take the setup, take the setup, setup. Take the setup, take the setup, setup. Oh Lord, take control. Take control, take control. My body, my spirit, my mind and soul. I will be still so you can take control. Whenever you're ready, I will go. Take control, take control. My body, my spirit, my mind and soul. It's my mind and soul, it's yours. So you can take control. Whenever you're ready, then I will go.
ABN Radio.
London!
London's premier Afropolitan station.
Consider that life wasted. Consider the heart of the family ripped apart. Consider the potential never realized. Are these the things you consider when you carry a knife? It's not about street cred or respect. It's about staying alive. Drop that knife and save a life. Gwenton Slowly, supporting all family and young people.
ABN TV Gospel Fest is back.
Hallelujah. Celebrate Jesus with me tonight. Hallelujah.
With award-winning Joe Mettle, Bank Holiday Sunday, 26th August 2018 at Plush TBC Oasis House, 5 to 9 Peel Road, Croydon, CR03EX. Expect an awesome night of praise, worship, and transformation. On the bill this year, all the way from Nigeria, the Welu Welu Master, Sammy Okposu.
This is the Welu Welu Master. Just that you call the beat. Watch this. So, I love to sing your praise.
UK-based Andrew Bello. The sensational Shekinah. And many more. Get your tickets now from abntv.co.uk and abnradiouk.com. Tickets are £20 standard and £35 VIP with reserved seating, goodie bag and VIP reception with Joe Mettle. All tickets purchased will be entered into a prize draw. Gates open at 5 p.m. ABN TV Gospel Fest with Joe Mettle. Don't be told. Be there. Brought to you by Real Money Transfer, World Ribbits, Miss E Divine and ABN Radio. Get your tickets now.
So, you need a new car, but just found out you have less than perfect credit. Well, at Wheels for Sure, we've been helping people like you since 2012. And with hundreds of 5-star reviews from happy customers, we really do mean helping. At Wheels for Sure, you could drive away in a brand new car on a 3-year lease, with servicing, manufacturer's warranty and breakdown cover included. So, for affordable motoring, even with less than perfect credit, change your life today at wheelsforsure.com. Wheels for Sure is FCA regulated. T's and C's apply.
We are online, DAB, and the ABN Radio app.
Well, in case you just tuned in, this is Gospel Connect ABN Radio. I am Akosua Dwomoh-Fokuoh, and we've been having a great time thus far. We had some great music. We had interesting conversation with brand new author Tumi Olaosun. She's been sharing about her brand new book titled What They Don't Tell You About Being Single. And I'm certain you heard that brand new summer jam by the group Kaleo, Take Control. You want to go to iTunes, Google, Spotify, wherever you get music, and you want to go to YouTube as well and watch the video clip. It's a really, really great track. So before the news break, I was speaking with Tumi about this amazing book. I want to read another excerpt to me, and this is from chapter 5, which is titled, Is He Lucky to Have You, or Is Any Guy Lucky to Have You? The first time I read those ominous words, any guy would be lucky to have you, I smiled. In my head, that obviously meant I'm lucky to have you. No, it didn't. Not at all. To be fair to myself, that was around 4 years ago, and I like to think that I've matured a bit since then. However, when my MB uttered those very words to me after spending a whole day together, I was on cloud 9. Sorry, I lost you at MB. That's a mental boyfriend. You probably know someone who had one or currently has one, or maybe you have one. Tell us about the mental boyfriend, because I think he's very popular. I really do. And I think it's popular in churches. Do you want to tell us the characteristics of this mental boyfriend and why you gave him that term?
The mental boyfriend, wow. He is the guy who occupies the space in your mind like a boyfriend, but it isn't your boyfriend. Yeah. So you think about him all the time. You speak often, probably every day. Banter is on lock. Everything. It's like you're in a relationship, but you're not in a relationship. You're not. You can't introduce him to your mamas anymore. All your friends know you're infatuated with him. Yeah. But it can't go, you can't introduce him to anyone. Yeah. He'll just be always, oh, that's my friend. Yeah. That's my friend. That's my friend. Yeah. So obviously, as he's your friend, he is more than able and within his rights to go find a girlfriend or not for your friend anymore. He has all the rights, and you get none of the benefits.
And I think this happens a lot in churches because of the whole, Christian brother, Christian sister thing we have going. Absolutely. Whereby, Christian brother and Christian sister are friends, and somewhere along the lines, I guess someone develops deeper feelings than the other, and the other doesn't want to, give up on this amazing friendship and having this person around, so kind of just goes along with it until one person, I guess, then meets someone else, and then the other parties think, but hold on a minute, I thought we were together. What advice would you give to women? I know it's difficult.
It is. I think the advice I would give to myself is to keep yourself accountable.
Yes.
So if there is someone that you are talking to often, frequently, there's no harm in not just telling maybe a few friends, but even having someone who is older, who's a bit wiser, not just to share your business everywhere, but just so that people can know. So even they will be able to see things that you can't see, and be able to advise you. Because that's the other thing, that you have these kind of friendships or whatever, and it's no one else knows. So it's like, it's our little secret. No one needs to know our business. But then no one can also check in and
hold anyone accountable.
Exactly. So that's what I would say. Make sure that you have people who you're accountable to.
I forgot to give the telephone number earlier on, actually, because I do want to open the phone lines. So if you want to phone in, somebody's on the phone. Oh no, not yet. Oh yeah, someone's calling. The line is 0208-670-7300, 0208-670-7300, or you can WhatsApp or text on 0788-7475-940. I do think we have someone on the line, but let's continue chatting a bit while I grab the phone. You were talking about accountability and really just getting to know a person. One of the things you say in your book is people don't start jobs until a reference is provided and verified. So why place any less value on yourself? You can't expect a practical stranger to voluntarily reveal all their flaws to you. And I think, when you spoke about accountability and having somebody just check the person out, I think that's really important. But for some funny reason, we don't really like to do that.
Yeah.
Why?
I mean, for me, I thought I was jinxing. So it was a sense of, if I told someone about a guy, then people were like, they'll be in your business. People would be like, what's going on between you and him? So I would prefer not to say anything to anyone in that sense. And I think in that sense, if we don't tell people what's going on, if we don't say, who's that guy? I've seen him around, I've seen that you've been talking to him, or what's he like? Then people can just do whatever it is that they want to do. So I think it is really, really important that you just not checking up on people and stalking them, because that's weird, but just finding out a little bit about them. So who is that person? He's your so-and-so's friend. Okay, cool. Like, what is he like? What is she like? Kind of just to ensure that everybody's on the same page.
Of course.
No secret girlfriends.
Of course. No secrets. No, we want to put everything out in the open. Okay. Now I do have someone on the line. I do have a caller on the line. Hello. Good morning.
Hello. Good morning.
Thank you so much for tuning in and for phoning in. Can I take your name first?
I'm John from Streatham.
Good morning, John. Thank you so much for tuning into today's program. So, contribution?
Yeah, I just wanted to make a quick contribution to the point that you spoke about just a bit earlier, where maybe you have this buddy, Christian sister, Christian brother, you hanging around, and you all think you have something going on, and then it goes closer. One of the things I normally tell my lady friends is that never assume a relationship until there has been the clear expression of the three magic words. Let me say 6. I love you. I want to marry you. Can we take this up? Don't ever assume.
That's
it. No matter how well you get on and you call each other every day and you have all the butterflies in your tummy, if the guy has not opened his mouth to boldly tell you that, never assume.
Okay.
Right? If you think that maybe there is such feelings and you want to have a frank discussion about it, it's better to have a frank discussion and get it up. Some ladies feel that when they do that, it's like they are throwing themselves at the guy. No, you are just making sure that you have the compass of the friendship properly set.
Yeah.
Right. So that's what I wanted to contribute.
Really great contribution, because actually, to me, that's one of the things that you touch on in your books. You do say that, you know, until a guy verbally says that, you know, he wants to be in a relationship with you, you should not assume
anything.
Yes. So I guess, you know, it calls into play, you know, guarding our hearts.
Yeah.
How can we guard our hearts better?
One of the other things that I would say is being honest with yourself.
Yeah.
So if you know that there are feelings there, state that to yourself. There's no point kind of pretending, oh, I don't even like him.
Yeah.
I don't even like him. Like, you're lying. You do like him.
Yeah.
So, like, call a spade a spade.
Yeah.
Because then, obviously, you can pray appropriately. You can have the right kind of conversations that you need to. So that would be the first thing, be honest with yourself.
Yes.
The second thing I would say is set some boundaries into place. So my phone goes on Do Not Disturb at 10:30.
Oh, wow.
So unless you're really important, I'm not picking up my phone. So if it's a guy then that I like, and if I know that I'm not answering the phone, why am I answering the phone to him? Why is he calling me at 10:30? Is he okay? Is there an emergency? You can WhatsApp me. Can I message you? Let me know what's up. And it's those things. So I know for myself, when I start letting calls in after 10:30, I already know that, oh, you're a goner. Like, what are you doing? Like, what are you doing? Stop. So having boundaries, so no late night calls in that sense, okay? And then for me as well, like my morning time is very precious.
Yeah.
So I feel very strange taking calls early in the morning, because if I'm awake to talk to you, I should really be praying and seeking God's face in the morning. So having those things. And just kind of, I think, and it's not about playing a game, but I think it's just about being a bit cautious. So it's not everything you have to say. So good news happened. Are you running to that person immediately? It's good to share, but actually, we'll talk later. And when I do talk, I'll mention it then. So trying to issue in some self-control, which again is difficult when there are emotions attached.
Yeah.
So you do have to pace yourself, which is where having someone who knows about the situation, having that honest friend that can say, like, calm down, like, you just messaged him, take time, like, it's okay, tell me everything. But often enough, we don't want to share, we just want to be obsessed by ourselves, because we don't want anyone to call us up on it. So those kind of, like, practical things that I would say, you know, be honest, put your phone on Do Not Disturb, set times where you will speak, where you won't speak, and so you can just guide the thing a little more smoothly without all the emotions running everywhere.
You know, I'm sure that every person listening is really enjoying this conversation. And the truth of the matter is, that is how hilarious, honest, helpful, and witty this book is. When I read it, I was chuckling at the scenarios and the examples and the case studies. I want to read a review by Faith Child. Faith Child is a MOVO award-winning recording artist. This is what he says about the book. What they don't tell you about being single unravels Tumi's self-discovery as she confronts the stigma of singleness whilst sharing her most uncomfortable experiences, all with the help of colloquial satire to ease the pain. This book is as much for the bachelorette who is forever the bridesmaid and never the bride as it is for the relatives abroad who keep asking, when will you marry? A timely book peering into a timeless conversation. Let's talk about that. The pressure. The pressure from society, from family. I always say that sometimes I feel as though single people would actually be okay on their own if not for the pressure. And I know the pressure is well intended, but you know, sometimes you feel as though you are disappointing that uncle, that auntie, that parent, because you know, you're not in that season of life. How do you deal with that pressure?
I run away. No, I'm joking. It's everywhere. Like, it's on Facebook comments, birthday comments, prayers, everything. And I think, first of all, it's really about being grounded in Christ, which sounds so cliche, I know, but it's really having an understanding that my worth, my value doesn't come from my marital status, from being a mother or not being a mother or anything else. Because once that is set, then it's okay. Because then everything is, it would be nice. It would be really nice if I was married now, but I'm not, and that's okay. It would be really nice if I had this, but I don't, and that is okay. That's the first thing. And sometimes if the pressure is really piling up, it is about having a frank conversation. I've had like a few with my parents, you know, in the sense of, look, I understand that you want this, and I probably think that out of the both of us, you may want this more than me, but believe it that I do want it. So I'm not deliberately doing anything to hinder this from happening. So we are on the same side. And having kind of those frank conversations, just to kind of look, I'm not deliberately not getting married, just don't say like, believe me. And so I think if there's an understanding of that, another thing that I do is that I try not to bring any news home until it's certain. So there you don't bring any false hopes. Oh, what about that one? What about that one? It's like, no, there's nothing. So until I have something really good to bring home, I'm unlikely to say anything, just so you don't bring false hope. You know, you're not bringing like relatives to that birthday party. Then next year they're asking you, you're like, oh, we broke up. That's awkward. So those kind of things you can kind of do just to protect the situation. And I think as well, like trying not to take yourself too seriously, being able to laugh and like, are you praying for me? Like, I hope you're praying with all of this pestering you're doing. If you're pestering as hard as you're praying, then I believe we're going to have an answer very soon.
You know something? I have a friend, and the person forever tells me that, you know, the suit is getting dusty. And I'm like, dry cleaners, dry cleaners, you know? And you're right. Sometimes you just have to laugh it off. You know, you just have to. Another part of the book, this is what you say. Here's another scenario. You feel God has spoken to you, but not to him. Now, ladies, I would tread very carefully there. The writer of Proverbs states clearly, and this is what you wrote to me, bold, italics. The he was in bold, who finds a wife in bold, not she in bold, who persuades a man.
Preach.
In this generation, I think a lot of women are very comfortable to take the first step. I'm old school, so I ain't going to take any first step anytime soon. But I think the new breed of career women and millennials, you know, they just feel as though it's okay. It's 2018. What a man can do, a woman can do. Therefore, why can't a woman take the first step? What are your thoughts on that?
I'm not for it. I am so not for it. I've seen like women on like Instagram like proposing now. Like that's the thing.
No.
Like women are getting down on their knees to propose to a man. Never. On radio, I'm saying not for me. It's a no for me. And just for the facts that it's mentioned in the book, so buy it so you can find out. But in the sense that if you, like we said before, like if a guy is persistent in chasing you and pursuing you and securing you, then you shouldn't have to be the one to push that. And the other issue is that if you were now the initiator, are you now going to be the initiator in all things? In that sense, like, I mean, everybody knows like no marriage is perfect. Marriage has difficulties. And the last thing you want in the middle of an argument was, I didn't even ask you to marry me. Whoa. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Like, it's just not, it's not, I mean, there's so many things that like life will bring when the marriage comes, when you're together, without you thinking, oh my goodness, are you only here because I asked you to be here? You know? And that's not the way, it's not the way the Bible says it. Adam saw Eve, he called her woman, you know, Abraham's servant found Rebecca and brought her to Isaac and all these things. So I think in this modern age, it's very easy to kind of put a 2018 spin on it, 21st century spin on it. But God made it this way for a reason. And it's hard to be patient. And sometimes, you know, we think we're doing God a favor. And at times I've been there and I wasn't doing anyone, least of all me, any favors. So if he's for you, he's for you. And he'll make that clear. And if he's not, then that's okay, because then he can go find the one he's for and you can patiently wait for the one that's for you.
Amen. He can go find the one that he's for and you can patiently wait for the one that is for you. We are speaking with a brand new author, Tumi Olaoshin. We're talking about her book, What They Didn't Tell You About Being Single. It's a brand new book and you want to go out and get this book. Now, if you're listening to me and you're a pastor, you're a minister, you are a shepherd, you know, you just organize conferences and events. This is one young lady that you do want to invite to your events to speak to your young people, to really just, you know, share her testimony, share her journey, but also instill within them, you know, some of these values, you know, which are imprinted in the Word of God. So you do want to contact Tumi Olaoshin, but firstly, you want to go to her website and you want to buy that book. The phone lines are open. Contact number is 0208 670 7300. And I think I do have someone on the line. Hello? 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 Oh, I think I've lost the person. The contact number is 0208-670-7300. I think the person is back on the line. Let's try that again. Hello?
Hi.
Hi, you want to contribute to the conversation, I do believe.
Yes.
Awesome, awesome. Can I take your name first before you go any further, please?
Yeah, my name's Shewa.
Cheryl.
Shewa, yes.
Okay, please go on.
Timmy spoke about how a guy would propose to the person that he's for. So does that mean the guy chooses who he's for, and then what if he chooses the wrong person? Does that mean he was for the wrong person? Or
that's a good question. So I think when, not being a man myself, but when a man is ready to make that question, we hope and pray that there is a seeking of God's face in the matter. So I'm hoping at this point, when a man does propose, he has got the clearance from God. There's a peace, there's confirmation that he's heard from God. The woman too has heard from God, and they are confirmed. They both have peace. They're both agreed and aligned that this is what God wants for us. And then they go in there to make, he goes in there to make the proposal. Obviously, proposals break down, and maybe they didn't hear correctly. Maybe circumstances have proved that it isn't where it's supposed to be. Or maybe, you know, as we can do sometimes with our emotions, override what we can really see, especially if it's a long-term relationship, or, you know, if you're getting older and the pressure's there, oh, I can't let this guy go, so let me just say yes. And if the proposal does break up for a reason, as painful as it is, I can only really see it in the long term as a blessing, because a broken proposal, as painful as it is, because it is painful on different counts, but it is much better than a broken marriage. You know? And so perhaps they didn't hear correctly. Perhaps there was other factors coming in, because, you know, we're all human, so essentially we are flawed. But the hope is that if he is proposing, he has heard. And for the woman as well, I would say, you know, for me, I think one of my biggest nightmares would be to be in a relationship where I would fear a proposal. So that's another thing. So the woman too, whilst she's in the relationship, she too has a responsibility to pray, to seek God's face. So if it does go into this way, Lord, are you with me? Is this where I should be? Is it yes that I should be saying? And that too is really difficult. You know, women have to make that decision to get a peace as well. So, yeah, both parties definitely have a part to play.
Thank you.
Does that help?
Yeah, that was really good.
Oh, that's great. Thank you so much for tuning into Gospel Connect. Have an awesome day. Have an awesome day.
Bye.
So the phone line, the number to call is 020867 07300. You can WhatsApp or text as well on 0788747540 and join in this conversation with Tumi, what they don't tell you about being single. We're going to take a quick commercial break, and when we come back, more chat with Tumi.
We play your genre of music, from contemporary gospel, high life, hip life, Afro-pop, Afrobeats, on London's premier Afropolitan station.
ABN Radio.
London!
London's Afropolitan radio station.
ABN TV Gospel Fest is back.
Hallelujah. Celebrate Jesus with me tonight. Hallelujah.
With award-winning Joe Metz, Bank Holiday Sunday, 26th August 2018 at Plush TBC Oasis House, 5 to 9 Peel Road, Croydon, CR03EX. Expect an awesome night of praise, worship, and transformation. On the bill this year, all the way from Nigeria, the Welu Welu Master, Sammy Akosua.
This is the Welu Welu Master. Just as you on the beat. Watch this. So, I love to sing your praise.
UK-based Andrew Bello. The sensational Shekinah, and many more. Get your tickets now from abntv.co.uk and abnradiouk.com. Tickets are £20 standard and £35 VIP, with reserved seating, goodie bag, and VIP reception with Joe Metal. All tickets purchased will be entered into a prize draw. Gates open at 5 p.m. ABN TV Gospel Fest with Joe Metal. Don't be told. Be there. Brought to you by Real Money Transfer, World Ribbits, Miss E Divine, and ABN Radio. Get your tickets now.
Consider that life wasted. Consider the heart ripped out of a family. Consider the potential never realized. Are these the things you consider when you carry a knife? It's not about street cred. It's about staying alive. Drop that knife, save your life.
So, you need a new car, but just found out you have less than perfect credit. Well, at Wheels for Sure, we've been helping people like you since 2012. And with hundreds of 5-star reviews from happy customers, we really do mean helping. At Wheels for Sure, you could drive away in a brand new car on a 3-year lease, with servicing, manufacturer's warranty and breakdown cover included. So, for affordable motoring, even with less than perfect credit, change your life today at wheelsforsure.com. Wheels for Sure is FCA regulated. T's and C's apply.
Sending money has to be fast, safe, and efficient.
So what are you?
Now you can send up to £5,400 to Ghana for only £1.
Only £1? Up to £5,400?
Yes, only £1, and your friends and family can collect with ease from a cash collection point, mobile money on all networks, or directly from their bank account.
This is so convenient.
Wait for the most convenient part. Download your PayAngel app to your phones and tablets and get started, or visit payangel.com. Pay only £1 for money transfer to Ghana, no matter the amount, when you pay for your transaction with instant bank transfer.
Get paid when your family and friends send. Terms and conditions apply.
Visit payangel.com for details. PayAngel, truly an angel. Authorized and regulated by the Financial Conduct Authority.
.com solicitors. Solve all your problems. Your legal partner established in 2004. 14 years in the making. UK #1.
Legal aided council housing and housing association problems. Possession, eviction and disrepair. Have you been threatened with possession proceedings of your house? Have you been served with a notice of eviction from your landlord? Have you been evicted from your house without any notice? .com solicitors have been providing a quality solicitor-led conveyancing service for many years. Call .com solicitors on 0208 880 9000 or visit our website www.comsolicitors.com.
Romans 8:28 says that all things will work together for good to them that love the Lord and are called according to his purpose. Listen, whatever you're going through is working for you. Don't give up. Listen. If a man be in Christ, he is a new creation. All things are past, behold, all things are new. Whom the Son set free is truly free indeed. What I'm going through is working out for me. Oh, everybody say,
if a man be in Christ, he is a new creation. All things are past, behold, all things are new. Whom the Son sets free is truly free.
What I'm going through is working out for me. Sing, I'll be there, not the tail. Above, not beneath. No weapon from the gates we shall prosper. It's turning around for me. Everybody say, come on, come first. Above and not beneath. No weapon from the gates we shall prosper. Turning around for me. I see it.
That was Joe Metal turning around. He is going to be headlining Avian TV Gospel Fest on the 26th of August at Oasis House. You want to grab your tickets. It's going to be an amazing concert. Also featuring Sammy Okpose, Shekinah, and Andrew Bello. Before the commercial break, we were talking with Tumi about her brand new book, What They Don't Tell You About Being Single. And we do have the telephone lines open. A number of you have been phoning in. That's really, really awesome. The line is 020-8670-7300. And I actually do have someone on the line. Hello.
Hi, hello, it's John again.
It's John again. Oh, hi, John. Thank you so much for calling again. Yes,
Right.
you wanted to contribute.
Yeah, so I wanted to ask your guest in the studio. I'm not sure if she wrote about this in the book, but what is it that single people are not being told about the issue of sex and the pressure of sex? I'm mindful that this is morning primetime radio, but what can she tell us about it? What is it that we are, young single people are not being told about that area of their life and dealing with the pressure? Because I know for sure that is in our present generation is one of the most challenging areas when it comes to single people in church, wherever, dealing with the issue of their sexuality and also, like, say, keeping themselves before marriage. Yeah, so that's my question. Thank you.
Morning, John. I do talk about sex in the book, and just to summarize it briefly, I talk a lot about the emotion behind sex and obviously the purpose of it, which it is good in the right context, which is marriage that God created it for. And I think a lot of young people, everyone really outside marriage really struggles with this challenge, because the world that we live in, sex is so normal. Like it's a regular progression. You meet someone, you talk to them, you date them, you like them, and then sooner or later sex is on the cards. So I do address that, and I think within the church it's really important that we bring up our young people from as early as possible, to be honest, to understand their worth and to understand that they really are temples of God and what God does say about sex. Not that it is a bad thing, but it is in the right context. One of the quotes I used from Pastor Stephen Furtick was that fire is good. It brings so much, but in the wrong context, it brings disaster and damage. And I liken that to sex as well, and all other sexual activities. It's good in the right context, and without it, it brings a lot of damage and hurt and cycles that people get themselves into, which is so hard to get out of, especially because the society we live in really encourages it. Express yourself, be liberated, don't hold yourself back. And so I do mention it in the book, but I think as leaders within the church, people, we do really need to step up and be frank with our young people, because the honest truth is that if the church doesn't educate them, they're going to get the education from the world, and then the damage has already been done, because they're already thinking in a way that isn't appropriate to God's word. And so we need to be very much involved with renewing our minds of the young people and encouraging them that having these desires is natural, is normal, but it's what you do with those desires and how we can progress as a people that acknowledge those desires, but then use them in the right time and in the right way.
Thank you. I mean, it's very refreshing, the angle, you've dealt with this subject, and as you've said, you've written about it in your book, which is very good, because one of the things the churches don't do is to actively engage and boldly talk about it. And like you said, it should be in the right context. All we hear is a lot of don't. Bible say don't do this, don't do that, don't. And people are asking, okay, why shouldn't I do it? That guy is doing it. He's doing it. He's not dying like you are saying that he's gonna die when he does it. So why shouldn't I do it? So I think it's good that you wrote that in your book. Well done.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for calling in, John. Keep listening to this conversation.
Okay, bye.
Awesome. Bye. Timmy, there's something I would like you to address, though. So it's pretty clear in the Bible, the Bible talks about, fleeing, sexual temptation. We know that, we know what sexual impropriety is. Let's talk about sexual purity, because I think that sometimes people may not be doing the actual act. However, they may not be sexually pure. Do you want to talk about the difference between the two and what you believe the boundaries should be?
So I think sexual purity is very much to do with issues within yourself and the heart. And God sees the heart. So I know Christians say, oh, no one can judge me, God sees the heart. But that in itself should scare us, that he can see the heart. And I think then sexual purity is about having the right attitude and the right mindset towards sex and other sexual activity. So sexual purity, for me, it's ensuring that I am sexually pure. And what does that mean? First, it starts with my thoughts and my mind. Everything starts off with the mind as a seed, isn't it? It's a battleground. And so if I'm meditating on things which aren't sexually pure, if I'm lusting to be with someone, if I'm having sexual scenarios in my mind, if I ponder on those things long enough, it is going to become a reality. And we focus a lot on the act, like, oh, it just happened. But we know that there are steps to get there. You didn't wake up in his bed or like that didn't happen. Like there were things that happened. So I think it's about really guarding our hearts and our minds about what is appropriate, like what you watch. There are certain shows that I don't watch. I already know I can't I'm fighting a few battles. I
Yeah.
can't welcome this one into my heart. I literally, I can't. So I think sexual purity refers more to our mindset and our
Yeah.
attitude towards sex. And,
Yeah.
you know, we say we're not doing anything, but as we know, God sees the heart. So
Yeah.
what is going on there, and uncovering those things.
Yeah. We only have 5 minutes to the end of the show. The time has just gone so quickly. We do have to have you back. I wanted us to talk about the seasons of singlehood, but I don't think we're going to have enough time for that. So let's talk about the reflections and the moment with Christ. Because at the end of every single chapter of the book, you have a moment with Christ, you know, scriptures for meditation and reflection. Why don't you just summarize and just talk us through some of them?
It was important for me to do that because in the journey that I'm currently on, it was those moments with Christ that really strengthened me.
Yeah.
So I really wanted women and men who've read the book to take some time to read those scriptures. So it's not just, oh, this is what Tumi's saying, but this
Yeah.
is what the word of God says, and really point people back to Christ and
Yeah.
back to the Bible. So
Yeah.
this is what God is saying. And what does that mean to you? And to hold firm on those scriptures. So it was really important. So, you know, like Proverbs 4:23, to guard your heart. Corinthians tells us about our bodies, the temple. And I've wanted people, you know, this book is a stepping stone, is my prayer, to push people back into God, and where people, because relationships are probably the place where people have been hurt the most. And to take those areas of hurt back to God. And so it was important for me that after you hear about my thoughts, that actually people go back to God and take that back to God with their thoughts.
Well, it looks like we do have another caller on the line. I'm going to take the final phone call. Hello.
Hello there. I
Hi.
just got a question.
Yes, quick one. We've got 3 minutes, so quick one. Go on.
Okay. Oh yeah, the question is just for Tumi to help his brother out, who's someone like myself who may be trying to, or men should be trying to go to find a God-fearing wife, or but they're in a small church. How do they build that resume and find out about a person? You know, some ladies are not always as they seem, but how to find that God-fearing woman of God? What tips would she say that a man should do to get to know them? If that's a good question.
No, definitely. Thank you. I think, especially if you said it's a small church, I think group activities are really great. So get social, plan social activities so people can bring their friends, and you can see people, get to know people in a relaxed environment. Bowling, dinner, just do fun things. It's summertime now, so going to the park, playing games, just having those kind of fun activities, because then the pressure's off because you're not one-to-one with someone. You can talk to different people without feeling the pressure of, you know, you're that guy just moving to girls left, right and centre. And also it gives you an opportunity to see people in different environments, to see what they're like. Are they competitive? Can they hold a conversation without bringing much pressure? And I think the more group activities, because people want to get to know each other, they want a fellowship, they want to meet new people. And then by His grace, as you start talking to people, hopefully you will gravitate towards maybe one or two people that you seem to be on their level. And then it's just, I guess, being open, like, let's be friends, and obviously being friends with boundaries, not mental boyfriend. So yeah, I think it's being sociable and having those group settings where it's safe, but also allows you to actually meet new people and get to know new people as well.
Love it.
Thank you so much for tuning in, and thanks so much for calling in. Well, that is about it for today's show. Time has just flown. Tumi, in 20 seconds, could you tell us how people can book you, how they can get the book, where we can follow you? Just tell us a bit about yourself. 20 seconds, literally.
Absolutely. So you can get the book on www.tumininu.com, TUMININU.com, and there's booking information. My book's also on Amazon on ebook, and okada.com, okadabooks.com for those in Nigeria. And my Instagram handle is @knowingbetterdoingbetter, and Twitter KB_doingbetter.
Okay, thank you so much for tuning into today's Gospel Connect. That's about it for today. It's time for the news.
A survivor of a tour boat which sank in a Missouri lake claims the captain told passengers they wouldn't need life jackets. Tia Coleman lost 9 members of her family when the vessel capsized during a storm on Thursday. 17 of the 31 people on board died. Earl Wiener is from the National Transportation Safety Board.
Again, our investigation is comprehensive. We'll look at the vessel, we'll look at the operation of the vessel, we'll look at the people involved, we'll look at the environment,
A 2-year-old girl has been accidentally shot dead by her 4-year-old cousin in California. Her grandfather has been arrested as police investigate how the child found the gun. Politicians say smart meters will cut energy bills by just £11 a year, and more than half stop working after you switch suppliers. MPs claim the rollout of the devices is at risk of going over budget and past its deadline and must be reviewed immediately. The brother of a man poisoned by a nerve agent in Wiltshire says he doesn't know where his sibling is. Charlie Rowley was released from hospital in Salisbury yesterday, nearly 2 weeks after the death of his partner Dawn Sturgess, who was also exposed to Novichok. It's thought he might now be in a safe house. His brother Matthew's delighted, but surprised he's no longer in hospital.
Well, I saw him Wednesday and he was very weak again. He could barely lift his head off the pillow. He had lots of tubes and things supporting him and a lot of machines around him. He obviously must have improved for them to take him off of those.
Traditional girl guiding badges and activities are to be ditched in the biggest overhaul in the charity's history. They are to be replaced with ones for things like vlogging, mindfulness and human rights. And in sport, England's Justin Rose has begun his third round at the Open Golf. The Olympic champion only just made the cut on 3 over par at Carnoustie. That's the latest. I'm Victoria Lawrence.
From my enemy, yo, this is Shatta Wali and you're listening to ABN Radio. Man.
Kim promise. Me de me duff wa shed the mama. Me hun sa dem poasa. Sana dem poasa. Ya dem pe mo edin komo ya dream ya hun. Ama ye hun sa dem poasa. Sana dem poasa. Love being in your company. Here with you is where I'd rather be. Give you the best of me like it's supposed to be. Na, 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 na. And girl, I love it in your company. Here with you is where I'd rather be. Give you the best of me like it's supposed to be. I know they want me